Hello YouTube. Here I have a very high polygon count model of Madara from Naruto, and it has now about 800k polygons, and I'm going to show here what it looks. And this was created in ZBrush, and this was the model was subdivided 5 times, and this is the 5th subdivision layer. And now I'm exporting subdivision level 3 model, since the workflow is much easier and lighter with the low polygon model. This has about 20k polygons only, and I actually had a bit trouble here with the texture. I'm not sure what was the problem, since I re-exported the textures and then it started working again. But this actually and I skipped that part, and now it's working. And this is the low polygon model now. I'm working with subsurface scattering, and here are the difference between the low and the high polygon model. And I'm actually going to make the low polygon model look a bit better in this video. I'm changing some texture material variables and creating the more darker color for the skin. I'm using subsurface scattering in luminance, since it makes it the skin a bit glowish. I think that's more natural look. This is actually the subsurface scattering set from the, I'm not sure if it's Grayscale's Gorilla or someone else, but I'm pretty sure it's Grayscale Gorillas. And it's a bit modified to my own usage. And here you can see the difference between high polygon and low polygon close-up. And to me, the low polygon close-up seems actually a much more clearer, and the shadows and the light are much harder. When working with high polygon count with subsurface scattering, it can make the model look a bit smushy, like in this case, so the low polygon actually looks a bit better. I'm going to smooth out the eyelids and such later. Here I'm just changing the values of luminance and the lighting setup overall. Displacement and bump maps are also needed to reconfigure, since the low polygon amount, you have to make the density a bit smaller in the low polygon model. And there I checked some info about subsurface scattering. You can great thing in Cinema 4D is that you can right click pretty much anything and click show help, and it actually gives you very clear and very fine info how to and what do you need to do in your situation. Here I'm adding a smoothing box to the belly button, since in the render it showed a little bit too much edge. I also selected the belly button area and subdivided it. As you can see in this one, the belly button looks a bit better when I render it now. In overall, I love working in Cinema 4D since it's so fast and easy. And there I put some smoothing to it. And now you can see the belly button is much more smoother, and the shadow isn't such boxy more anymore. Now I'm just starting to add the detail that I had in high polygon count. I'm subdividing, and then I'm using brush tool to pull out and making veins. After the pull out, I'm using brush smooth just to roughly smoothing out the very hardest edges. It actually gives veins a nice look when you don't smooth them super smooth. You leave a bit edge. It makes it look like more veiny to me, since veins aren't that smooth if they are like in muscular bodies. Here I am just smoothing overall a bit. The eyelashes are fucked up, so I just decide to make new ones. Actually, I tried to fix them, but then I noticed that the eyelashes on the other eye were that smaller. This is due I was using the same eyelashes that were in the high polygon count, so it didn't really work that well. So I'm just using and adding new hair tool and placing the old material into the hair. Normal human has about 150 to 250, I think, eyelashes per eye. So roughly 350, 400 in overall should be fine and look that natural. The hair material, actually I was going to show you that, but it seems that I forgot. And it actually is just I'm using clump. It makes the lashes to look more natural, and just few percents of kink, and then just that's pretty much it. I'm using, I think there was a length variation about 10%. And I'm not satisfied with the lashes that I am doing here, since eyelashes doesn't go like that in real life. Eyelashes should go straight forward a bit, and then the tip of the eyelash should go up. Now I'm changing the nose shape, since it's very smooth. Since I usually smooth out my models in ZBrush before exporting, and in Cinema 4D you can so easily use brush tool to do a little bit sculpting like modeling, so it's easy to make asymmetrical. I actually heard that there are in R16 you can use some kind of symmetry tool for the brush, but I don't see myself using that, even if I had that tool. But yeah, I'm just using smear and pull, and after that smooth. Smear, pull, after that smooth. Let's see. The nose is a bit of boxy in the tip, but otherwise it looks better. He doesn't have inside of a mouth yet, so the mouth looks somewhat weird. A bit of teeth should be showing out, and it would look more natural. I really liked what subsurface. Actually, I'm going to say that if you're interested in using subsurface scattering, I highly recommend you read the help of Cinema 4D about the subsurface scattering. There are a lot of images, and for every single modifier, and it really makes it look if you're using skin, then subsurface scattering is making it look more real. And here I'm adding more edge to the points where skin is near the same color skin. Fresnel reactivity is the slider, and there's now 3 pixels, 0, 50 and 100. I'm fiddling around with lighting setup. At this point the video is more about rendering now. I'm just setting I have 3 lights. The main light, which is kind of like sunlight. Ambient light, which is bluish background light. It gives that darker look. And then there's backlight, which gives the edges to my model. Like if someone was pointing a flashlight, large flashlight behind me. And actually sometimes, as I just did, I pick every element and rotate them, and I'm not moving the light itself. I'm moving the model and the camera, and I find that a bit easier sometimes to make if the light is correctly positioned, then it's more easier to rotate just the model. And here are more shadows. this texture of a low poly model doesn't have nibble, so I just seems I added the nibble. I added the nibble just I opened the texture map and googled up rest and cut the nibble out and added in the UV map. I'm adding a little more veins to the hand. Bit boxy, too boxy, so I smoothen them. Eyes are a bit more clear. I'm actually using, I found this via Google, the Rinnegan. So I'm going to check who made it. I'm making the eyelashes a tad more longer there. The Rinnegan texture was made by... actually I made the texture via a photo of from DeviantArt. Wu Dan is the name of the artist. And here